Hey, welcome back everybody to Paranormal Planet. This is a new news flash for you guys out there, kind of keep all of this stuff pieced together for us as we're going along. Today is the big Congressional UFO hearing. We expect, as this hearing takes place, that there's going to be a few bombshells come out, according to Chris Mellon and a few others. They expect a few shockers to occur, so that will be very, very interesting. Again, that's happening today if you're unaware of what's going on. And it occurred to me recently that we should probably put into sequential order how we got to this place and time. How did we get to this point of UFO disclosure? And we have to remember that really the ball got rolling with Senator Harry Reid. Let's not forget him in all of this and his crucial role in getting UFO this far. So I was thinking about it, and most of this goes back to December of 2017 when we're talking about the modern day UFO disclosure movement. And here are a few points in history since that time, and a quick summary of how we got to this place and time at these congressional hearings that will be taking place today. In December of 2017, the New York Times revealed the Department of Defense conducted a secretive UFO research program dubbed the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program at the behest of former Senator Harry Reid. A decade earlier, after Reid attended a series of clandestine meetings with a group of high-powered businessmen, scientists, and engineers to explore the existence of UFOs and extraterrestrial life. This was a move that Reid later acknowledged could have put his political future at risk. Then, in May of 2019, the Times reported that Navy pilots had encountered flying objects with no visible engine or exhaust plumes impeding on Navy aircraft formations and flying at hypersonic speeds off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean in 2014 and 2015, prompting the Navy to introduce new guidelines for reporting UFOs. Then, in June of 2019, a series of classified congressional briefings on UFOs prompted members of Congress to begin speaking publicly about their interest in the Pentagon's knowledge of sightings, thrusting the subject into the mainstream. Senator Mark Warren of Virginia and then Senator Mark Walker of North Carolina were among those who received the briefings and expressed concerns that the Department of Defense was stifling reports of UFO sightings by Navy and Air Force members. June of 2019, then President Donald Trump said he had also been briefed about Navy pilots reporting an increase in UFO sightings, though he casted doubt on their existence. Then in April of 2020, the Pentagon released a series of previously classified videos of Navy pilots appearing to observe UFOs in 3 separate incidents in 2004 and 2015. And while intelligence officials said there was no evidence of extraterrestrial activity associated with the objects, they did not rule it out. In June of 2020, the Senate Intelligence Committee, then chaired by Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, ordered the Defense Department to commission a report cataloging UFO sightings. In June of 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released the report ordered by the Senate Intelligence Committee that revealed the Pentagon had recorded 144 observations of unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP, dating back to 2014, but could not determine the origins of all but one, including whether they were atmospheric or extraterrestrial. June of 2021, Congress members expressed concerns about the lack of Department of Defense data on UFOs and urged the Pentagon to continue analyzing the sightings and improving their reporting standards. Rubio accused the Pentagon of having, I quote, ignored and ridiculed military members who reported the sightings. December of 2021, Congress established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, administered by the National Intelligence Agency and the Department of Defense, to study UFOs as part of its annual defense spending bill, under the requirement that the office provide regular updates to Congress on UFO sightings and its analysis of the objects. In May of 2022, Congress held its first hearing on UFOs in more than 50 years and heard testimony from defense officials who said the department had recorded about 250 additional UFO sightings, up from 144 disclosed in the June 2021 report. Then in July of 2023, Senator Mike Rounds and Chuck Schumer introduced legislation to require the U.S. government to report all UFO sightings to a review board that would have the authority to declassify the information. Again, now in July of 2023, Congress announced the Subcommittee on National Security, the Border and Foreign Affairs will hold a hearing on UFOs in an effort to assess the federal government's transparency and accountability regarding the objects and the threats they might pose to national security. So there was a big number reported, guys, 510. That's the total number of UFO sightings the federal government has recorded since 2004, according to a January report by the Director of National Intelligence. The government has said it closed many of the cases after determining the objects were airborne trash, drones, or Chinese surveillance devices, but 171 were marked uncharacterized and unattributed. Congress will hear testimony from a former Defense Department intelligence officer named David Grush, who worked in a special unit to study UFOs, and claimed in a June article in the Debrief that the government had recovered partially or fully intact UFOs of exotic origin for decades. Grush recently filed a complaint against the department, alleging it retaliated against him for providing information about the secretive findings to Congress and the intelligence community inspector general. Ryan Graves, executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace, which collects data from people who claim to have witnessed UFO sightings, along with David Fravor, a former commanding officer of the Navy's Black Aces Squadron, are also scheduled to testify. Big things are afoot, guys, and disclosure keeps barreling down the train tracks like a runaway freight train. The new law that, in effect, was produced by Schumer and a few others is going to make it illegal, criminally illegal, to hold any of this technology or information in private anymore. So, and there's a 6-month deadline on that. Basically, if you're out there in the world and you are part of these deep black special access programs and you have a UFO in your hangar, underground vault, etc., and you have the alien bodies and you have all of the proof necessary to completely erase all doubt in the minds of the people of the world that we are in fact in the presence of an alien species, then it is going to be completely, utterly, and totally illegal to have that material / information / bodies without it being declared to the United States Congress. That is, in effect, checkmate. And these companies now know this, and we can only assume that within the next 6 months and slightly after that, you are going to have a whirlwind of UFO disclosure. That's where we're at. Now, where the hitchhiker effect ties into all of this, we don't yet know. How is it that this technology, this phenomenon, has the ability to quantumly entangle itself with the consciousness of the observer, having deleterious and hangover-like effects in that person's surroundings and life, is something that us paranormal investigators are eager to continue to delve into, as it is giving us glimpses into the very nature of what paranormal really means. Thanks for being with me here today, guys. I will be back very soon with another video for you, and we'll keep barreling down this road. We got some exciting days ahead of us. Until then, keep your eyes to the skies.